a shaded view.
Pearl comes from my friend Dean, who I met when I was living in a squat over the road from his apartment. I used to see this gingerhead boy going by, and he'd look at me because I would draw in the window because of the light. One day he sent over a friend of his called Dick, who was dressed in a canary yellow evening gown. My friend over the road wants to invite you to his party tonight. I kind of got myself ready in the cold bath and everything. I went over and I met really incredible people. I met Dean, who gave me the name Pearl.
We were at the Ritz and Mr. Pearl walked in carrying a bunch of violets and dressed so elegantly. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that he smelled of violets and he had this most beautiful little bunch of violets for me that I'd ever seen. And I think we both were overwhelmed by meeting each other.
Dita once told me that she'd been aware of my work for some time before she had a chance to get in touch. So it was not an impulsive contact. We immediately had a strong trajectory to follow. As befits a jewel of her genre, everything about her is visually eloquent. I love to respond to all that she radiates, and I enjoy a proximity that makes me the envy of red-blooded males everywhere.
Pearl had, in his going out type clothing collection, a medical leather corset, a support. And he used to go out and about in this. And he was spotted by Pete Burns, looked at this garment and said, "Did you make that?" And Pearl lied and said, "Yes." "Could you make me one just like it?" And Pearl lied again and said, "Yes." That was the first Pearl corset.
Well, the first time Pearl made me a corset, I think we had maybe a dozen fittings. I would try on the toile and say, "Oh, it's perfect," and say, "No, it's not perfect at all. We have to do this and that." And I was amazed at the things that he could see that I couldn't see. When I received my corsets the first time, it was on my wedding day, actually, in Ireland. And there was one corset that he had been doing the fittings with me for, and the second one was a gift. A lot of people ask me, well, what's the difference between a Mr. Pearl corset and the other corsets? And he just manages this incredible shape that I've never seen any other corset maker on earth manage to make.
There's no school, so I'm sort of self-taught just by looking at things, and also I had the great privilege to meet a woman who's a great expert on corsetry. I was always interested in corsetry. I met Lauren Pine in New York, and she was corseted, and showed me a photograph of Fakir Musafa that he took of himself, and it's called The Perfect Gentleman, and this inspired me to want to try and wear corset myself.